Hello, hello, hello. We're going to try this again. I recorded um a video, did the whole thing, realized my microphone was off. So this will be like take 4. So eventually we'll get this out. The devil is not going to win. And it might also be God just telling me to practice. Anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit today about a word that God has been burning within in me on personal situation as well as the share. So, as most of you may know, I'm getting stretched outside of my comfort zone a little bit, um, but that's okay. Because how can I be comfortable if I'm dead? And the only way I live is through Him. So we'll get started here. I had to take a what seemed like a crazy leap of faith before about a month ago, actually. And I had to step into something that made me real uncomfortable. It was a dream. It was a vision that God had planted in me, and anyway, I had to take a crazy leap. That will tie in here momentarily as we go through this. Just remember crazy leap, because a lot of times we can say we believe God, that He's a good Father and He wants nothing but the best for us, and all of that is true, by all means. But sometimes we have to do stuff that seems crazy. Look at Peter, first and foremost. Look at him. He stepped out of the boat. That seemed crazy, obviously, to step out of the safety of the boat in the middle of a storm. But he was rewarded. He grew for having the faith to even step out of the boat. I saw a post the other day, and it's something that I've used in my life for years, talking about how crazy Noah must have felt working for years building a boat that God had given him step-by-step, precise instruction to build. The thing we got to remember there about that being so fantastic is they didn't know what rain was, let alone what a flood was or anything else. So sometimes we have to do crazy things tied to our faith, to show how much we really do believe that God is God and He's got us. That was not part of it. That was just free. That was a free little testimony. We're going to get into the word here, though. Hopefully they will come up on the screen and we will get started. Matthew 17 and verse 20. And Jesus said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Let's look at that. Jesus said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed. All too often, um, I remember growing up as a kid, I remember hearing in church and stuff that the opposite of faith is doubt. And that is not true. Doubt is merely to have question. It is merely to operate in the natural. You know, when God's telling, we'll use the case of Noah again, telling him to build a boat. I'm sure he had questions, but God, why do I need to build this structure, this boat? I don't even know what rain is. I don't even know what flood is. But his faith stepped in and saw that it was coming because God said it was coming. Even though he couldn't see it yet, rain and flood was coming. And so he had faith, and God rewarded him for that. But because of your unbelief, unbelief is the opposite of faith. It is the instant that you begin to move in, you allow the enemy to take your doubt or your questions and turn them into not believing that God can and will move on your situation. That is what the opposite of faith is. Moving on, we will look at Hebrews. Well, what is faith? Hebrews 11:1 tells us that now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So it's the substance of things that we hope for, things we hope to see, but we cannot see yet, because we have to understand there's two realms. There's the spiritual realm and there's the earthly realm, the natural. And I like to look at faith as being the vehicle that goes into the spiritual realm and pulls and loads up and brings back into the scene what we can't see yet. So if you go on down to verse 6 of Hebrews 11, it says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Let's stop here and just break this down real quick. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is. So we have to believe that he is. That he is the answer, that he is, when we look at Moses in the burning bush, and that he says, who shall I say sent me? And he said, tell them I am, So we have to understand that he is, and he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So we have to put faith and relationship and seeking all together. It's all a mode of action. If we look at James chapter 2, starting in verse 14, it says, what doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doth it profit? Even so faith, if it hath not works, it is dead being alone. We're going to skip on a little bit. And with a scripture that was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. Ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. Likewise also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works, when she had received the messengers, and had sent them out another way. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. So we have to understand that it requires us to put some action behind, more so than just saying that I believe that he's a good father and he'll take care of it. I think all too often we find ourselves sitting and relying on, yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. I have faith. I have faith. I have faith that I'm healed. I have faith that I am this. I have faith that I am prosperous. I have faith that I am all these things. But you have to give God something to work with before he can accomplish. And that meaning, if you're struggling with then finance, you have to have faith to sow the seed. You have to get up and work and water the seed and take care of the seed and allow God to bring the increase. But it's just like I said a minute ago, a good father. For me, example, I'm a dad. I get busy. I get, with work and life in general. If my kids are wanting something, they have to get my attention. One way that they might get my attention is, of course, coming and talking to me, and they put it into my head that way. But they have to put forth the effort to come and take action. Another way is, for example, say they're wanting a expensive video game or whatever, and they begin to put forth the effort of having good grades, of doing chores without being asked. They're putting forth effort, and so they're going to get rewarded for that. And in the same way, God looks at it. If we're wanting this, then we have to put forth some effort. If you're wanting advancement in your career, you have to have a career. You have to go to work. You can't just sit on the couch and expect God to drop a career into your lap. Not that he can't or that he won't. He just has to know that you're willing to work. We have to prove that we are good stewards of the things that we are given. And that pretty much cleans out my heart on this word. I want to say thank you for watching. And I pray that God richly bless you. And this word would take seed in your heart, and you would begin to be able to apply it. Thank you again for watching.